This is Reiki Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki and all energy work, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Reiki Set Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide rather than host, as I too am traveling, learning, and supporting others on this Reiki journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy Seawright, and this is Reiki Set Reiki. Hello, Reiki family. Reiki blessings to you, one and all. Another amazing and wonderful journey ahead. But before we begin, I invite you to check out a certain special place on Facebook. And this is the Reiki Business Collective. Here is a place to share, support, and serve, connecting with your Reiki business community. Now, don't let that business word fool you, no matter where you are in your journey. Maybe you're thinking about it. Maybe you're nervous about it. Maybe you don't feel you have the confidence to even start something up. But this is the place to go where we support and rise you up and show you a way to go. So I don't want you to ever feel alone on your energy work or spiritual journey. Know that there are individuals along the way, such as myself and Christian Stone, that are here to help guide you and support you. Learn from our experiences and how we came about to energy work. So great place, costs $0 to be a part of this community. So there it is. Check it out. I also like to invite you and tell you about the opportunity of the ICRT International Reiki Retreat. Now, ICRT is the International Center of Reiki Training. They're having their 31st annual Reiki Retreat in Sedona, September 4th to the 7th. This is a place where if you are interested in Reiki, wherever you are in that journey, that you can spend a weekend, right? Learning, growing, having experiences, and meeting like-minded people. So this is a great place to go. If you sign up now, you're able to get a singing bowl. Yes, they send you a singing bowl in the mail. Beautiful crystal singing bowl. I've already signed up. I'll be there. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. Now, back to our journey. I'd like to tell you about an individual, Wesley Elliott. Now, he is the founder of Ahu Healing Arts. He is the LLC co-creator of the Transpersonal Somatic Therapy, Transpersonal Somatic Therapist, Reiki Master Teacher, and, LMT and a keynote speaker. Now, he is a visionary healer, teacher, space holder, devoted to guiding individuals and community through deep healing, embodied transformation, and beautiful things of bringing and weaving together somatic intelligence, energetic awareness, and transpersonal insight to support healing on a level of body, mind, and spirit. Now, he has extensive training and lived experiences, and his work focuses on helping clients recognize and unwind inherited patterns, release storage emotional and energetic imprints, and reconnect with their innate capability and capacity of self-healing. And here he supports clients in bringing awareness to the subconscious and lineage-based patterns, facilitating integration through grounded, trauma-aware, and consent-based practices. So I'd like to give a Reiki Set Reiki welcome to Wesley. Welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. So let's begin our journey together. So I told our listeners just a little bit about you, but I know, I can feel it. There is so much more that you have to offer, and please take a moment to share it with the world.
Yeah. So I'm based in Texas, DFW area, Plano to be specific. My wife and I, we co-founded Ho Healing Arts, and it's a wellness space where we blend body work, energy work, and somatic practices into one place. We have a little store that we clear out. We do a lot of community events like drum circles, guided meditation, sound baths. And before I got into this work, I actually spent 17 years in the financial industry, coaching and guiding people. I worked a lot in leadership development. And I noticed what was holding a lot of people back in their journey. Really liked helping them, wanted a bigger platform. And so now my focus is helping people reconnect with themselves through the body, through the nervous system, and through their own awareness.
Beautiful. Well, I'm here in Texas also, in El Paso, Texas, and probably many people don't realize how big Texas is. So I haven't checked on the map how far we are, but I know from Houston, it's about 14 hours from where I am to Houston. So, you're part of a really big place here, and thank you for bringing and offering your services to Texas.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So we're here talking about the Reiki energy work. So when did this come into your life? Would you say that you found Reiki or Reiki found you?
I would say Reiki found me. I was I was actually it's probably like 2015, 2016 when I first got introduced to Reiki, and I was going through some personal stuff, working through stuff on my own, and um, I was referred to a lady, and at the time I had no idea what Reiki was. I didn't know she was even doing Reiki on me, but I really enjoyed, you know, getting to go tap into her wisdom, get on her table. She put me in such peace and relaxation, and I started feeling shifts, happen, and started going, okay, what is this, and what are you doing? And then she started explaining Reiki to me a little bit. But that's really what opened the door to me into Reiki, and from there, I began awakening. Um, a lot of it through my own body and nervous system, and that led me into going to study it from there. But yeah, so almost 10 years now since it first entered my life.
Beautiful. And you shared a little bit earlier about you're using your own system that you have. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we created a new modality called transpersonal somatic therapy, where we work with the nervous system, the body, somatic practices, and energy awareness at the same time. Um, a big misconception people have is that energy work is separate from the body. The mind and body are separate, and the truth is the body stores all that information. Um, and so you can't really just typically unwork something from the mind or energy alone. It's you have to move it through the body as well. So we
Sure.
found that when we combine all those into one session, I mean we're achieving something like 85% breakthroughs in a single session, which is unheard of for
Sure.
most modalities out there. So we're really proud of that work we're doing, and hoping to get the word out there and spread it to others.
Beautiful. I also teach yoga as well, and it's so important with somatic work with the body because the body really does keep score. It's just so important. I had listened, my husband's been listening to this recording at night, and I had overheard it speak about how, to try to calm the body using the mind is like using a hammer to paint. You have to get you have to get the body right,
Yep,
relaxed.
and use the right tools, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like makes
And
you
the
think.
interesting thing is people come from different backgrounds, different family environments, carry different traumas and experiences in their life. But with the body, it's interesting because, you know, body to body, person to person, energetically, um, there's an emotional map within the body itself, and the same parts of the body carry the same um, stuff energetically,
Mhm.
person to person in the same areas. So that's one thing we're working on, is trying to create a more intensive emotional map as well within the body, because yeah, that really helps people tune into what's going on.
Right. And you've been in this work for a while, and especially during COVID, I have found that people since COVID have just been so tense and they can't relax and they don't know what to do with themselves and living in that fight or flight. I mean, we had this global pandemic, and then one day it's like, okay, we're good. Now we're fine. And no
Mhm.
one's really kind of dug deep into what are the lasting effects on this, especially like our children and us as adults, that we were so fearful. I mean, my daughter, who's an adult now, she's like, Mom, I was so scared because we had a few deaths during that year, and she was so afraid that I was going to pass.
Mm.
And from that, and so that's carries it with you, that trauma and that experience. And so to shake that and then to have it like 6 years later, oh my goodness, you're still carrying it, it's still coming out. So people are looking for these other things that were at one time, acceptable. And then for a while it wasn't. Now we're circling back around and being open to other modalities.
Exactly, absolutely.
Yeah. So been in the experience with the Reiki since 2015. It opened that door. As you've been going through this beautiful landscape of a stress reducing modality, what are some common misperceptions that you hear about Reiki and energy work?
Well, a big one is that the mind and body are separate. Or that Reiki is just, for relaxation, and that it's very passive. And, the truth is it does take, it takes that work from the person needing the healing. They got to do a little bit of work on their own, as well. And it's really, supposed to point inward on somebody.
Right. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. So as you are working and cultivating a relationship with energy, with Reiki, what has surprised you about Reiki?
How intelligent the body really is. Um, when you create the right environment, the body will start to process things on its own. And that's a beautiful process. And you don't have to force anything. You don't have to fix somebody. And it's very consistent. Like I was saying, different people, different backgrounds, same patterns show up in the body over and over in the same places. And once you start to see that, your work really begins to tune into listening to the body and what it's telling you.
Beautiful. So we're finding a time where there seems to be a large variety of practitioners, lots of different systems. Every time I turn around, I see a new one popping up. And so, as someone's navigating through this, trying to figure out where do I begin? Who should I pick? What system? Where do I start? But for you, what are some qualities that you look for in either a Reiki practitioner or master teacher?
Presence is number one. And I look for someone who has, you know, gone through the work on their own. Um, that's the biggest thing. Don't take advice or get work done from somebody who isn't applying it themselves. Um, and humility. The practitioner needs to understand, that they're holding space for someone to choose to rise up and heal themselves.
Right.
Um, self-awareness, you know, is a big one. Yeah, anyone really, at least willing to look in the mirror, do the inner work themselves is going to be a big head start.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you have built a really beautiful and wonderful community, running a business, all the opportunities that you have had since connecting with the energy in 2015. So as you stand here and you look back, what advice could you give someone who wants to enter this as a profession?
Ooh, that's a great question. It's not easy. I'll tell you that. I think God gives everybody a purpose, and you find that purpose within your heart. And that purpose, when it's a God-given purpose, it's always going to come back to helping humanity, helping Earth in some way. So, if you found that and that is your calling and that's why you're doing it, you're not doing it for, you know, other reasons that are more self-service, then follow your path and the way will be paved for you. Um, and another thing is, I always tell people that are kind of nervous about getting out there and holding space for others, God or the universe is not going to send you somebody that you're not able to help. You
Mhm.
know, it just, the mirrors in life happen that way. And so if someone's put in front of you, it's for a reason.
Right, right.
And just get yourself out of the way and let your vessel be used. And the magic and validation will present itself and come afterwards.
Right, right. And it seems as people begin that journey and they discover Reiki or different modality of the healing arts or the mystic arts, they're often fearful and they feel that they just don't have the confidence. And I had an opportunity to speak at the Reiki Summit about networking, and I had a kind of a idea of what I wanted to speak, and there were questions. And then I really felt called for some reason to share my experience of how I was someone who should not have confidence. I was put down. I remember when I was 5 years old, I got in trouble. I got put in what would be called today timeouts. And, as I'm watching all of my other classmates, I decided, and I remember very clearly at 5 years old saying, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be a teacher and my class is going to be fun and my students are going to want to come to my class. And, I had every reason not to be confident because I was told, no, you can't do that. I was always reminded of the failures. And, afterwards, people had said, I'm so glad you shared that. I had that happen, or I had my mother that spoke over me very negatively. And it really gave them a sense of like, I think maybe I can do this. And I said, it took me 6 years with the Reiki energy to feel comfortable to speak, like this. So give it time, give it patience. So you're exactly right with it. If you feel that calling and you have that purpose, that right person will come to you, and you just need to trust the process with it.
Absolutely. And you brought up something important there. Get away from your friends and family when you're out there, because they're not the ones that are gonna, give you the validation you need whenever
absolutely
you're getting out there. So.
And what I said is, like, I have strangers who support me more than family and friends. And, God, your family doesn't support you, then God's going to bring you a stranger to help you. And it's been those strangers who have become dear friends who support me. What can I do to help you? And then you have family members that won't even, share or like your posts. So it just blows me away sometimes. So what books do you recommend?
Oh, books. The Body Keeps the Score, obviously, is a good one. Another great one I actually have right here. Metaphysical Anatomy.
Okay. All right. Beautiful.
That's more of a guide to figuring out certain patterns, but yeah, the truth of it is that every single thing that goes wrong in the body, cancer, disease, any sickness, illness, it begins with an energetic blockage, and energetic blockages are emotional. So emotional blockages are the root cause of everything that goes wrong in the body. They're then accelerated by worldly environments and poisons and chemicals and things like that. But if you address the root cause, you can heal yourself from literally just about anything.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what other modalities or services do you offer? Classes, events, trainings?
Absolutely. We have a full suite of holistic modalities here. I'm a massage therapist. We have other therapists here as well doing various types of massage therapy. We do craniosacral therapy, obviously Reiki. I love combining Reiki with massage therapy as well.
Yeah.
And then the transpersonal somatic therapy is our signature modality. That's what the majority of what our clients know us for as well. We do a ton of classes and events. Like I said, we do a lot of guided meditations and sound baths, helping people access other layers of consciousness within themselves, new parts of their mind they maybe haven't explored before. We create a big community. We have a monthly community drum circle and cacao ceremony. That's just wonderful, high energy. We do a lot of classes. I do a free monthly Reiki 1 class open to the community. I do it free. Anyone's able to come. It's an in-person event. Anyone's able to come, receive the knowledge for free. And I go beyond the traditional, knowledge of Reiki in that, but it's a wonderful class. There's small charge if someone wants a certificate or something, but I'm really proud of that offering. It's really hard to find, free resources and free classes these days. And,
well, without a catch to it. There's always
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's been really popular, and it's one of my favorite things to do. I look forward to it every single month, and I'm actually going to take that online this month as well.
Beautiful.
And stream it at the same time that class is going on. And then we're also in enrolling for cohorts. I'm looking for, additional practitioners that feel called to do deeper work that I can train in the transpersonal somatic therapy. So
Okay, beautiful. What is the system of Reiki for the class that you're offering?
I do the traditional Usui.
Okay. Is there
And
Reiki help?
yeah. And
Beautiful.
so, and then I always separated those. Okay, so here's the traditional, and then here's, I give my additional insights and knowledge that go a little bit beyond, or if it contradicts anything in there a little bit. But
All right, beautiful. Sounds like a wonderful opportunity, and it'll be lovely to see you bloom and blossom into hybrid classes. How about that?
yeah,
So,
absolutely. Thank you.
where can someone find you, whether online in person, if they're interested in a session or a service that you provide?
Absolutely. We're right here in Plano, Texas, next to Central Market, in the big corridor of everything. You can find us online at ahohealingarts.com. All of our socials are also Aho Healing Arts. And all of our online stuff is posted there as well.
Beautiful. Well, that ends the first part of our journey, and I'm going to guide you into the second part, which are questions from listeners, social media, and Reiki students.
Perfect.
Number one, how can epigenic pattern specialists support clients in bringing awareness to subconscious and lineage-based patterns?
Yeah, so by helping bring awareness to patterns that didn't start with the individual. A lot of behaviors, emotional responses, and even stress patterns are inherited and learned through family systems. And when someone can see that clearly, it creates the space to heal it. Instead of identifying with the pattern, they can observe it. And once there's awareness, the body has a chance to respond differently to it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Number two, you are the co-creator of Transpersonal Somatic Therapy. Tell us about your work and the benefits of being a co-creator of this transpersonal somatic therapy.
Yeah, so transpersonal somatic therapy is something my wife and we co-created it together through years of working with people. It's built on the understanding that healing doesn't just happen through talking or just through energy work. It happens when the body and the nervous system and awareness are all involved together. In a session, we combine physical touch, somatic awareness, intuitive guidance, and energy work all at the same time. What makes it unique is that we follow the body rather than applying a fixed technique. Every session is quite different. And the benefit that people are able to access and process things that they haven't been able to reach before, often without having to relive or analyze everything mentally.
Beautiful. Number three, why do you believe working with somatic intelligence and energetic awareness is beneficial in helping to assist and heal the mind, body, and spirit?
Yeah, because what most people are dealing with, it isn't just in their mind, it's also in the body. And the nervous system holds these patterns of safety, stress, and response. And if that doesn't shift, the same thoughts and behaviors are going to repeat themselves. And so when you work with the body and energy together, you're working with a level where those patterns actually live. And that's where real change starts to happen naturally without forcing it.
Beautiful. Well, that was our last question. As we've been talking, is there anything else that you might have forgotten or something you'd like to share? The floor is yours.
I would just say that the knowledge and power is within you. Within your DNA, you have access to all of the information. And so if you need tools, it's okay to look outside, but you're going to find the answers to everything within. And so that's one thing we pride ourselves on here is when we do sessions, we don't like to see ourselves as above anyone else. We love to share the tools and practices that have awakened that knowledge within us to others so that, you can continue the journey and the work on your own at home. I do also have a free school platform access to our website where I've uploaded a ton of, self books I've written on this kind of work with those tools, integration guides, and practices to awaken that within us all. So.
Beautiful. And where can they connect with you again?
ahohealingarts.com.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for all of the work that you're doing and your generosity within the community to share and level up Texas here. So well done, and hopefully with the world, right? By going hybrid with that. So very well done. And so thank you.
Thank you.
All right, beautiful listeners. If you are interested in having your question featured on Ready Set Reiki, reach out www.readysetreiki.com. I'm Tracy Seawright, and this has been Ready Set Reiki.